My name is Antonia. I am 44 years old. I live with my husband. His name is Eric. He is 49 years old. We have been together for 21 years. We have 3 beautiful children. But even after all these years, I cannot forgive my husband's parents. More than 20 years have passed, but I still feel hurt and upset. I can't forget what happened when I moved to another country. I didn't know much about my husband's parents. If I had known what I was going to face, I would have asked for a divorce before I left. I was young, only 20, and I didn't understand how life worked. I didn't know how to speak up for myself. I just accepted everything. My husband didn't help me. He was afraid of his father and always listened to him. I had to deal with everything on my own. I felt very lonely, and I cried a lot holding my baby in my arms. Before we moved, we lived with my parents. At first, everything felt okay, but it was still hard for me to think about leaving. I knew that I would have to leave one day, but I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. We had to leave earlier than we planned. I said goodbye to my home, my family, and most of all, to my dear mother. She was everything to me. I had never been far from her before. Saying goodbye to her was like a part of me was being torn away. I was very young, and I didn't know what I was going to do in a new country. I was so sad that I thought I could not live with it. Moving away was very hard for me, and I became sick. My heart hurt for a long time. I couldn't stop thinking about how much I missed my home and my mother. My husband's parents didn't help me at all. They didn't care about how I felt. I was all alone. No one gave me the support I needed. I had to use all my strength for my son and for my mother, who was also very sad about the distance. I spent months going to doctors because I felt so weak and tired. I tried to stay strong, but it was hard. The doctor said, "You need to rest. You are too stressed." But how can I rest? My husband does not care about me. His family hates me. I am all alone. Slowly I began to work, but nothing was easy. I had to learn how to live in a new country where I didn't understand the language. At first, it was so difficult to communicate, but I worked hard. Over time, I learned new skills, and I found a good job. I began to earn money, and I started to feel better. I felt proud of myself because I was reaching my goals. My dream was to buy a house. I worked hard to make that dream come true. My husband, on the other hand, could not learn the language. He still struggles with it even today. For a long time, he didn't have a job, and I had to support our whole family. I always stood by him. I worked. I took care of him, and I supported him emotionally. But one day, everything changed. My mother-in-law started saying things that hurt me. She said she never had a daughter, but she always wanted one. She looked at me and said that all the other women had their mothers with them, but I didn't. She seemed to think I should be more like them. Now I wonder, what do they want from me? Do they want love? Do they want kindness? I can't give them that anymore. I don't feel that way about them. I only treat them with respect. I only greet them on holidays, and I try not to make them angry. I can't give them anything more than that. My mother passed away 10 years ago, and I feel sad every day because I didn't visit her as much as I should have. I remember how my mother-in-law told me I shouldn't call my mother more than once a month because it was too expensive. It made me feel so bad. I only called my mother once, told her everything was fine, and then hung up. I did not want to make anyone upset. Now, after all these years, I understand what really happened. I realize my husband's parents didn't like me. They didn't care about me. They hated me. I don't even want to think about my father-in-law. He did something that I will never forget. One night, he kicked me out of the house with my baby. I was afraid of my husband, who was drunk and angry. I needed to stay there with my son to be safe, but my father-in-law didn't care. He told me I could go back to my home, but I couldn't take my son with me. That was too much for me. Of course, I chose to stay with my son. He was my priority, and I would never leave him behind. It feels like this happened a long time ago, but even now when I think about it, I still feel pain. I still cry. Why was I so weak back then? Why couldn't I stand up for myself? Why do I still speak to them like nothing ever happened? It hurts me to be kind to them now. I can't pretend anymore. I can't wear this mask of happiness when inside I feel broken. I am sorry for writing this in such a confused way. It's hard to think about everything that happened, but I still need to figure out how to keep talking to them. I know I will never forget the pain, but I hope one day I can heal from it. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.